Firstly, before we jump into the video here, I want to let you guys know about something that is going on for today and then tomorrow as well, and that's it. I have my own personal G Fuel code that you can get 10% off your order at any point with, but my friends and team in Carnage Clan actually have a 40% off discount going on today and tomorrow. If you use code Carnage40, you can end up getting 40% off your entire order at gfuel.com. So if you guys are interested in that, you need a restock or something, or you want to try it out, now's a great opportunity to do so. Today and tomorrow only, so make sure you go check that out if you're interested. Carnage40. That said, let's get right into the regular scheduled content. So the Blackout beta has come and gone, but it's still something that is completely on my mind. I'm incredibly excited for the launch of the game here in just a few short weeks, and at that point, well, I'm gonna be jumping back on and playing a ton of Blackout again. But that said, I wanted to take a little bit of a look here with you guys today at some things that you may not have actually ever realized were in the game of Blackout, and also kind of some cool moments that paid homage to various locations in the Black Ops franchise. So through this, we're gonna be taking a look at 6 different Easter eggs that you may have recognized some of these in game and maybe not, and also then what you can end up seeing a little bit of a tribute once again to various moments back in time. So that said, let's just jump right into it. Let's start out with number 1, which deals with probably one of my favorite areas within the Blackout map in particular, because it's something that's been such a big piece of fan lore for so long, and we've had no information on what it would be like ever up until this point. To which that is the Nuketown bunker. Now granted, of course, Blackout might be in its own little bubble here and it doesn't directly tie into the answers we may see fit that we thought of maybe say 5-6 years ago with Black Ops 2 or all the way back to Black Ops 1 and such with the bunker there, but we get a glimpse at what the design intent is underneath the Nuketown facility. That said though, when you take a look at the giant corridors, they all lead you to 2 major rooms, one of which has a song in the background that kind of sounds like elevator music. But when you take a look at it a little bit further and you take a second to actually listen to what this clip is, it's actually the green run loading screen music from Black Ops 2 Zombies. Now, for those of you guys that may stretch your memory a little bit here, Green Run was Bus Depot, Diner, Farm, Power Plant, and Town, all of which made up one giant experience of transit when you wanted to go and play them all together. But you could end up playing them individually as smaller little portions of the map, and so therefore you'd end up seeing when you started those up the same music that is in the Nuketown bunker underneath actual Nuketown Island. So this was a cool little thing that I thought I recognized the song at the very beginning when we first went into Nuketown, say day 1 or day 2 of the beta. But then having discussed it a little further with my friends as we played a little bit further on, we finally figured out that that was where it was from. And when we finally got it, it was like the light bulb flicked on. And to me, I think that's just a brilliant little Easter egg to kind of bring back a little bit of a nostalgic piece that may have been overlooked in the grand scheme of the history of Call of Duty and brought it back up to something that did fit the mystique of Nuketown Island. So very cool to see that one. And again, that is if you want to check it out once the full game launches again, probably still going to be there in the underground portion of Nuketown Island. After that, for number 2, why don't we stick with another Zombies reference here at this, and another Zombies Easter egg that goes all the way back to World at War. In the Asylum portion of the Blackout map, we see a very old but classic reference to Verruckt in the sense that, well, Verruckt's already there, but you can actually do an actual Easter egg from Verruckt in Blackout. It wasn't something that they cut it here for this, so you could still do this and actually experience one of the oldest Easter eggs in Call of Duty Zombies history within Blackout real time. So all you have to do to this one is go over to where the shower and bathrooms are in the upper portion of Verruckt, or Asylum in Blackout's case, and you'll see on the wall there are 3 toilets lined up. If you go over to them and you end up flushing 3 times consecutively, that'll activate the classic Lullaby for a Dead Man musical Easter egg that will play throughout the speakers in Verruckt. So if you go out to the courtyard, you can see there are a couple of speakers, and it'll play from there, to which you can just chill there and try and be the last one standing with some style. I know that a couple of people were, I think, a little confused whenever I did this in the game that I actually captured the B-roll footage you're watching, and so in that sense, I got a couple free kills out of it and still was able to headbang a little bit to the song itself. So that's something that, again, is fully functional back all the way from World at War and Black Ops, as well as Black Ops 3 also. So you could do this across many different games, and the Easter egg still lives within Blackout and Black Ops 4. The next Easter egg we'll talk about deals a little bit with more so continuity than anything else, where the details are definitely not left out, even though it's just something you might not necessarily think about, and this dealing with the character models for the characters within Blackout. We had the opportunity to see our 10 specialists within Black Ops 4, the zombies characters, both new and old, plus a few of the classic sort of legacy characters within the Black Ops universe in Blackout, that being Mason, Woods, Menendez, as well as Rezanov for the Blackout beta. Of course, we'll have more as the full game comes out and throughout the content season, but the one we're focusing on here today deals with Rezanov, because if you take a look at the character model, you play around with him at all, you end up seeing that he actually is missing his right pointer finger. And that's something that goes all the way back to the World at War campaign, where we first meet Viktor Rezanov in the mission Vendetta. So if you guys remember that mission, that's where we first see Dmitry Petrenko, as well as Rezanov meet up, to which, after an attempt to assassinate the German general, Heinrich Amsel goes awry, there's a little bit of an ambush that ensues, and so therefore, Rezanov is only one of 2 survivors after it. That's where we end up seeing that he gives Petrenko his scoped Mosin Nagant, and so on and so forth. The rest is history that you know of. But that said, the continuity is that if you take a look at Blackout, and you take a look at that character within the game, you'll notice that he doesn't have his index finger attached on it. It's still like a little bloody stump, which is of course very cool, but when you take a look at it, well, how well is he shooting his weapon actually? But I digress. It's something that is still a cool little Easter egg that allows for lore to continue on through Blackout, even though it's not necessarily a campaign as such, and so therefore just keeping everything all in line. You might not have noticed this initially. After that, we're gonna jump over to Factory within Blackout, and this is one that's kind of a simple Easter egg and something that you just might not have caught, but it's relatively straightforward and explained in and of itself. That being a message board that ends up saying how long it's been since the last incident in the factory, something that's commonplace with all sorts of industrial locations, but this one ends up saying 115 days since the last accident in Factory. So as you guys probably know, that's dealing directly with zombies, element 115, the entire causality of what we now know of as the zombies universe. And so just a sort of reference to that, nothing really too deep or involved with it, but something you may have missed and as a result might not have seen if you don't go to Factory all that much. But again, straightforward, simple, and to the point here with that one. The next one we'll talk about deals a little bit with the zone or gas or storm, whatever you want to call it. The collapse is what it's actually called, but whatever you want to refer to it as, when you're actually trapped out in there, of course we saw some adjustments made to how much damage it deals initially, and then throughout as it progresses, it'll end up doing more damage as late game starts to progress on. But that said, the classic Nova 6 gas icon is in the storm. This is something that goes all the way back to Black Ops 1 and is seen in a various number of locations. One of the best images you can find here of this deals with the map 5, and you can end up seeing that it is the swastika as well as below that the eagle and the N6 for Nova 6. Now, this is something that of course we don't see the Nova 6 gas as what we've seen previously, where it's a sort of mustard yellow color in Black Ops 1 and a green as what we saw in Black Ops 3, but it is something that the collapse is blue, but it still has the hallucinations of the numbers that you normally would see referring to the numbers Mason in Black Ops, as well as that logo once again coming from Black Ops 1 as well. This one, I'm not sure if you guys would have seen it or not, because well, obviously the objective is to stay out of the collapse and to stay alive and make it all the way into the center of the zone for the final circle, and of course be the last one standing. So if you don't voluntarily go out of there and you don't stay in the collapse all that much, you won't see these things pop up for the brief second, but it was actually in the reveal trailer for Blackout where we saw some actual gameplay, and so that was there. That was our first initial tease of it, but it was also in-game as well. That said, that is going to lead us into the last and final Easter egg here we're going to discuss, and this one is again a general blanket Easter egg that's been around since I believe Call of Duty 2. That being teddy bears on the top of Asylum. Now, of course, this deals with a number of different locations within Call of Duty, not just Treyarch titles. All games have had the teddy bear Easter egg, and it's been a long-standing culture of the Easter egg within the Call of Duty franchise. But this one, again, kind of playing into zombies, but also the general relativity relativity of the teddy bear Easter egg. You can find these on top of the asylum, and they're scattered around. So if you guys want to check that out, again, it's a general Easter egg, but still one that is there and carried over, keeping that tradition alive in Blackout. So now wrapping it up, my question to you is, how many of these did you find yourself? Did you find any more in particular that you'd like to share? And maybe we can continue this going forward so that we have some Easter egg stuff to talk about, jumping into the full launch of Blackout in just a few short weeks. Whatever it is, though, I'd love to get your thoughts and feedback down there in the comment section down below, how many of these you knew, and so on and so forth. That said, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you drop a like down below. If you are also new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding Blackout, Black Ops 4 content. We still got some World War II content in the pipeline, and all things relating to Call of Duty. So if any of that interests you, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing. And also, if you guys want to follow me over on Twitter, that's the best place to get connected with me outside of YouTube. Practically live on Twitter, so if you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, that link is down there in the description below. Also, if you guys want to follow me over on Instagram, a little more active over there, so that link is down there as well for you guys to check out if you want to. But that said, thank you all so much for watching. Mine has been Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care, and peace.